can't believe I'm going on camera like this, okay? But I just spent 2 hours doing my hair for a photo shoot, so I might as well use it for some more filming and stuff. So yeah, this is what I'm going to look like for this video. It's like braided and stuff. It's pretty cool. Alright, but to the video. In my opinion, color is the #1 most important thing when it comes to photography and just art in general. And for me at least, a lot of the magic and a lot of the coloring and, well, it's the same thing, happens in Photoshop and just in the editing process. So in this video I thought that I would give you my top 9 hacks / tricks / tools that I use all the freaking time in Photoshop to develop my color palette and just to edit my colors for the best results possible. These tricks or hacks or whatever you want to call them will both make your editing process a lot easier and a lot faster, but it will also just give you a lot more freedom to create whatever it is that you want to create, which then will lead to you hopefully creating better art. Creating better art. Without further ado, let's get started. This way. The first hack is a hack that will actually allow you to see the colors that you already have in your photo a lot easier. So let me show you what I mean. First, go to adjustment layers, then choose solid color, and in here you want to type 50% in the boxes C, M, and Y, just like I'm doing right here. And then type 0 in the box called K. Now click OK and choose the blending mode luminosity. You might not think about this every time you edit a photo, but when you think about it, it's actually very hard to see all the individual colors that you're working with because colors react in relation to each other. So if you see a blue next to an orange, it will look different than if you see a blue next to a purple, for example. But using this technique, you can clearly see all the colors that you have to work with, and it just makes it a lot easier to develop a nice color palette. So you can easily see if you have too much of one color or if it's just too overwhelming and you need to desaturate one color. So it really stands out a lot more, and you can also see if all your colors are just blending too much together and if it just looks too flat. So it's a really nice, helpful technique that I use for all of my photos just to see if it actually works, because if it works with this layer on, it probably also works without the layer on, if that makes sense. So use it. Now, let's imagine that you just saw, using the first tip, that one of the colors in your photo is too overwhelming. It's just too bright and it's too saturated and it just doesn't really work. Then you can go down to adjustment layers, choose hue saturation, and click the little hand right here and click on the color that you want to change. And now you can just drag the saturation slider to desaturate that color, or if you figured out that it was too desaturated, you can of course also reverse it and just saturate it a little bit more. It's really up to you. Tip number 3, you can also use the same tool to change the hue of any color, just like this. Now, another way to quickly change the color of something in your photo is to go to Image, choose Adjustments, and then Replace Color. Now, using the eyedropper tool, just like in the other tip, you can choose a color that you want to change and you can drag the hue slider or the saturation slider or the value slider. It doesn't really matter. You can change everything, but it will only affect that one color, so it's very helpful. Now, maybe you want to change the color of a specific area in your photo. So not just a color, because maybe you have a lot of that one color in your photo. Maybe you have a lot of skin color, but you want to apply some eyeshadow. Then you of course don't want to change the entire skin color because that just won't look good. So I actually have 2 ways to do this, and you'll have to just try it and figure out which of these techniques will work best for what you're trying to get out of it. So they don't work entirely the same, so that's why I'm giving you both, and then you can experiment and see which one works the best. The first way, and the way that I use the most often, is to go to adjustment layers, selective color, choose neutral, and in here you can make pretty much any color that you want. Don't think too much about how it looks right now, just drag the sliders until you get the right color. And once you have the color, click OK. Then click Command I on your keyboard to make the layer mask black. And then using the brush tool, you can paint in where you want your new color to be. So in my case, I want it to be the eyeshadow. The second way that you can change the color of something in Photoshop is to create a blank layer, then paint with a color on that blank layer. Paint with the color that you, of course, want the, for example, the eyeshadow to be in. And then just choose the blending mode color and boom, there you have it. It's almost like magic. If you go back into selective color, I want to show you this hack as well. Well, it's not really a hack, but it's just a tool that I use a lot, and it's because you can change all the hues of all the different colors in here very easily. You probably already know about this, but I use this every single day when I edit photos, so I just thought that I wanted to put it in here anyways, in case you didn't know. Now you know, and now you're probably also going to use it every single day if you edit every single day. If you're inside the selective color adjustment layer, choose black. You can actually add a tint of any color that you like to the blacks. This is amazing if you need more of just one color to complete your color harmony and have the right balance. Much more about that in this video right here that I'll have linked up in the cards. The last hack that I want to show you is a hack that will allow you to adjust the value of each color. This is literally so cool, and I can't believe that I just found out about this about a month ago or something like that, and it's just so freaking helpful. So the way that you do this is to go to adjustment layers once again, choose the black and white adjustment layer and set the blending mode to luminosity. And now you can just adjust the brightness and the darkness of each color while still keeping the colors visible. It's magic. That was 9 hacks! Yay! And I'm still looking totally weird, and yeah, that doesn't matter. If you're going to use some of these tips, just type in the comments below which tip or which hack or trick or whatever you're going to use the next time, because I would really like to know which one of these you maybe didn't know before and which ones you're definitely going to try out and going to use. That would just be so much fun to hear. If you want to see more photography type kind of videos, remember to subscribe and hit the bell to never miss my future videos. Also, if you liked the video and if you found some of the tips helpful, why not just hit the little like button, because that would just help the algorithm a lot and it's just make me very happy. So definitely do that. Here's my Instagram, and until next time, bye.